Well, I got some adapters for these wheels. Got a set of used tires. They're almost as big as I can get on it. Those are only 7-inch wide tires, and they look like they're 2 or 3 inches taller, so it should raise the back of this truck up, which is kind of what I want. But anyway, I had to jack it up and put these adapters on it, and then I can stick these tires on it. They're a lot wider than those little skinny ones. They're still not good enough, but I can't use those others up there, the center lines, and they go on that other truck. This was pretty simple. Just take it apart. It's got these big Agarn bolts in it here, and they go in here, and they bolt the this outside adapter onto the inside adapter. I used a little impact here. It's not as tight as I would like, but I'm probably going to have to pull this wheel off of here and do something about the brakes anyway. So that's basically all I got to do is put these acre nuts in here, and they look like they're good solid tempered steel. I'm sure that they'll work good enough and tighten this up. Well, it went on pretty good. Looks like I got about 3 inches here. Between the bed and the inside of the tire. And it raised it up some. I can see it's got a little bit of a rake to it. Yeah, like I said, not as good as this one, but for what I got, $100 is fine. It's gonna look all right. The fender's gonna be right at the edge of the tire. And I got a couple inches travel in it, and it's gonna look fine, I think. And I can always put a bigger tire in it eventually, but for now that's gonna match my fender mock-up. I'll go ahead and throw that other adapter on and see what both of them look like. Here's the other side roughly on. Don't look too bad. I haven't got that fender braced at all. This one's just kind of clamped in one place. So I probably can drill me a bolt hole here. Kind of start making this permanent a little bit. I can't really do this one until I get the floorboard on. I don't know how far forward it's got to go. I could probably measure it from the ground, but I think that's about where it's at. can't get clamps on this one on the bottom because the inside part's way too high. The fender's way too high for anything I got to clamp. C-clamp, but I can't tighten it. So I think I'll measure this up pretty good all the way around, and drill me a hole right there in this corner and put a bolt in this fender. I'll have to play with it a little more, and I'm going to have to cut cut this running board off, so I'm going to have to cut about a 4 or 5 inch piece out, make this work. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll just call it good on the fenders and tires for now. Kind of got the flu the last couple days. Sort of knocked me down. Getting out here in the sun with this heart condition is kind of tough on me. I have to do quite a bit of measuring on these fenders, so I'm just going to call it quits for now. It looks alright. It's got a little wider stance in the back. Yeah. Pointing my camera at the ground again. Well, I think it's alright. Good enough for what I want. I've got a lot of work to do to try to put that weld up that shifter. So I think that's what I'll do, is get up in there in the cab in the shade and try to fix it. Well, after quite a bit of playing around, I've got this, it's in park. There's reverse, neutral, first, second and third. Let me get another pin in it there. Well, I don't have it lined up quite right yet. This shaft is, or that arm's twisted a little. It's loose right there where it goes onto the shaft. And of course I've got just that little old flexi plate in there. But it's more or less what I want. I tried to get it where park wasn't into the key. It's still pretty tight, and that's low, so this is almost all forward. It's a nice chrome piece, but I think it's kind of overkill for me here. That's first gear, second, third, neutral, reverse, and of course then we have our park. So I need to change that. It's flexing down there, but that's kind of really not what I want. But with the linkage I've got there and the setup I've got, that's what's going to work. It clears the pan and everything. I found that bracket on another transmission out there. That one that's laying on the ground didn't work at all. So I think this is good enough, except I think I'd want, park's way too far forward at this point. In fact, it's not even going. And low, I don't know what I'll do about that. I can rotate this bracket towards the back, of course. It'll be bending pretty easy. Don't know if I want to cut it or what, but that's kind of too far forward. I think it ought to be right in this area someplace. That's just too much, too far forward. I may see what I can do about bending that bottom bracket, or shortening it up. I can get it back to about here with the geometry I got. I have shortened that rod some, but that would give me my park right there. I don't know, but anyway, it's kind of in and workable. Now I'll have to fabricate the rest of the brackets for this. I got all of this stuff. It's no good, but I might be able to use some of this stuff. I don't really see how any of it fits anywhere. Like this might possibly bolt in here. Anyway, at least it's in and it will shift. So, good enough for today. Didn't figure I'd work this long, but I did. So, time to call it quits. After a bit of fooling around and tweaking, I got another bracket down in here welded onto this. This is welded up better, and I put a stop plate right there for park. So, and there's my entire shift travel. It's about 4 inches. Park locks, and there's reverse, neutral, first, second, third, or actually first. So first, second, third, neutral, reverse, and park. So it's not interfering with anything. It's kind of right in the middle. Good place for a shifter. I don't know what kind of knob. I don't like that little one, but it's really not too bad. It's a little sloppy there, but I can tighten it up with this. But it's solid. The rods are straight. Good enough. Wish I had another way this could be bolted down. Looks like I could get a bolt through that hole there. Maybe I'll try to figure out some way of putting a bolt in there. I think another bracket with a hole in it. I have to put a nut on the bottom. Well, I'll worry about that a little later. It's not really completely tightened down on the transmission right now. But I'm kind of pleased with the way it works. Really, out of that whole kit, the arm, this bracket here, and the rod, and well, there was a lot of stuff that I used. I just didn't have any of the mount brackets. Like I said before, nothing really fit anything. This is all just cobbled together from pieces I had in there. It's good enough for rat wad work. I need to figure out some way of putting a neutral switch in here. As it is right now, it'll start any gear anytime. Well, I haven't got anything hooked up. Key goes straight to the coil, so I can put like a brake switch or something here that would, when it's in park, it would enable it to start. And I'll have to figure out something for this neutral. It's kind of a real small window there. Not sure how to do that. The park wouldn't be easy, but you know, this pin for this park thing is sticking out here a little. I could probably mount some kind of a switch right here that when it's in the neutral position, it would push a switch. Man, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Wiring fine tips, I'll just I'll put me a park switch in it, and for the meantime you can't start it unless it's in park, period. We'll worry about neutral, trying to get it started. The only time you'd really want that was like if it died on a road or something and you tried to restart the motor. As it is, if I hooked that up that way, you'd have to come to a complete stop, put it in park, and then it would start. You'd always put a bypass switch in it or something, and then on off. I hate, the more complicated stuff you get, the worse it is. But that's pretty nice, tight and snug. And you can feel all of the shifter points, so Good enough. Not near as stiff as I would like. I'll go ahead and tighten up these bolts on the transmission, see if I can improve that. Put my floorboard back in. And, shifter looks like it's doing fine. Looks like something's hitting here, I'm not sure what. Looks like it might be the bracket up there in the front. Not exactly sure what's going on there, but at least the arm's clearing good. Yeah, it sure looks like it's lifting it up. No, the arm's way forward. I have to crawl under there and look and see what's actually hitting. Well, this took a little negotiation, but I got a bolt in it there, one here in this corner, and one in each one of those corners. The floorboard's in solid. I might have to trim just a little out of that, but basically my shifter's working good. It was hitting up there in the top a while ago, so I just cut a little bit out of the original floorboard just so the rod would clear. About the floorboard's in and solid right now, so now it's time to try to see where my accelerator pump or pedal is going to go and get that mounted. I needs to be pretty high, probably right about where that screw is there. So I'll dig up my new shiny accelerator pump or pedal, see what I can do about mounting it. Well, there's a pretty ideal place for it. It's right at if I put my foot all the way up, like if I had a little foot, I can still reach it, and probably with a couple inches of travel, which is going to be more than enough. Even if it's up to around in here someplace, you can still put your foot on it and brace your foot against the transmission tunnel, which I don't have yet, but I think I'll put it at that angle there so it will clear my tunnel. And I'm not sure where the hole's going to go in the firewall. Looks like about can't really tell there. Let's say 1 inch below that seam. And that is right in here somewhere. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. It would be better to have it up in here, almost even with the brake. I'll take another look here and see what I got. Yeah, it's about 3 inches below the brake. Don't like that. It's going to make a real tight bend in that cable. I'll play around with this some more and see what I can do about changing that. Well, after some doing, there it is in. And but it's way too sensitive. And you just touch it and it's wide open. Wow. There's no way that you can control that. So I've got it in the top hole there, which gives it the maximum travel. And I've got it in a low hole here. I can I don't know how much adjustment I got in here, but I think I'm going to have to try to put it up in this big hole here. That'll help some, because right now it's just way too sensitive. So the longer arm I can get on there, the better. I'll see what I can do about putting that in there now. It's too bad I already cut all the cables. Well, I put a couple washers, moved this up here into this top arm. It's quite a bit better. It's still not real good. So I'm in the top hole of the accelerator pump in there. So I'm going to have to, I've only got one mounting hole. So I'm going to have to move it down to the lowest hole in the accelerator pedal, which would be the shortest throw, or the longest movement for the shortest amount down here. And it looks like, you know, I need to be able to move that throttle like an inch to get half throttle. And right now, or just before, you know, it just wasn't any good. So anyway, I got this all in. Everything all works good. Those springs don't mount very well, and I don't like that back bolt there on the carburetor much either. But it's all cut up and in, and it works with the accelerator pump. Floorboard pedal. It's can't really see in here. Oh, there you go. Sticking up awful high there right now. It's probably 3-4 inches off the floor, and it needs to be a couple inches. So, and I knocked my seats loose fooling around in there. So that's what I need to do, is mount that, and tomorrow I need to mount these seats good. But the shifter's in, it works good. Floorboard's in, it works. And once I had that done, Then of course I could do my accelerator pedal. So at this point, if I had a transmission torque converter in here and all that stuff bolted up, this would run and drive. Of course, I don't have a radiator. I've got the fans for it. So this would be the next step. Mounting the seats good. Finalizing accelerator pump, where that all goes. Getting that radiator back in there with those 2 little inch fans, mounting that all up. I'll do all that before I try to remove that transmission and stuff. But that's where the motor's gonna go, and I'll put everything in here that it needs to have to run, and then it'll just be a matter of pulling that transmission out, putting the torque converter in. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't really have any jacks for it. I'll try to just jack it and block it. I put it on jack stands first so I can get under it. And I noticed under there that transmission mount bolts are a little close to the thing, so I have to do something there. But basically, a radiator and accoutrements and a torque converter and bolting up the drive line, this thing will run and drive. Getting closer all the time. It's pretty hot out here today, so still not feeling 100%, so I waited till the afternoon and cooled off a little. And what I did was weld up this door here where it was all cracked and broken, grinded it off a little, and I got it where it's doing pretty good. I got the screw out of this. There's a problem though, because this helps my hands not in the way. The problem is the screw goes straight into the body, and the hole in the catch is like a 30-degree angle. Haven't figured that one out. And but I got it basically where it's closing, and I had another hinge and mirror thing and some other stuff I bought. It was kind of expensive, 70 bucks, and it had a bolt in it, and my other one was a little loose. I don't know where it's at here, but I got the bolt in here and was trying to pound it in, and it started bending and didn't work. And then I managed to get it out, but it's broke off right about here. Somehow it is jammed down here in the bottom. I tried everything, big punches and hammers and everything to try to get it out. I didn't, but at least I got the bolt out. And I think I can get this inside hinge out again. And I'll use this one I bought. And I'll finish doing that hinge. And I got my door raised up. A lot of this was because of the of this torn back in here. So I pulled this door up, I tacked it here, and I tacked it pretty good there on the back of that hinge. So I'm approximately in the middle of my catch. I'm still a little bit low, but it looks like the latch is right at the bottom of the catch. So this will be workable. I just had to fix that. I didn't get a whole lot done. And I got more problems uncovered. But the door's in and pretty straight. I'll fix that latch. I don't know what I'll do. I may just tack weld it. But it looks like that hinge is moving a little, so I should be able to get that inside one out. Put that one in. Anyway, enough for today.